Konnichiwa team, and welcome back to the channel. First thing you might notice, a little branding change. Why? Well, the number of comments that I've had on either YouTube videos or just messages saying, you know, we missed the podcast. Now 2 pints of maggots and a packet of hooks. We've not done a podcast now for nigh on 2 years. Just not had the time. I think I've said before, everybody seems to be at it now. It's a very sort of saturated market, saturated subjects, means everybody's scrambling for the same guests, etc. But it did make me think. There was a couple of sections in there, like, you know, we had the press pack, we had the tackle shed, and of course the big name interviews. Now the press pack's an interesting one, because when I think back to these last 2 years or so, look at the publications that we've lost. Match Fishing magazine's still going, absolutely great. Improve Your Course Fishing ended in April, and Angling Times is still going strong, of course, as well. But there is this flood, obviously, of content now, online, social media, etc. So to try and keep on top of the what's true and what isn't, if you like, we've only really got one source of truth for weekly news, that's Angling Times, and we've only really got one monthly from a match fishing perspective, or from course fishing in general. So wasn't too sure about whether we could sort of bring that around again. The big name interviews, love to get back involved if I find the time, I find the right guests, you know, have those conversations, definitely. But the tackle shed, it was always a really good piece for me, because it allowed me to sort of talk about, called it tried and trusted tackle that I've used over time. I wouldn't recommend anything that I wouldn't use myself, but at the same time, you know, I would say if anything's a bit muck. And we got the lads from our local tackle shop as well, Fishing Evolution, usually Mark, he'd come on a couple of times and talk about what's coming out, and that was across all genres as well. It was match fishing, carp gear, predator fishing during the winter. And I thought, yeah, that might have legs, it might be worth discussing again. So I was thinking to myself, if I was to do a new podcast and I was doing the tackle shed section, what would I discuss? And I thought about it, and I thought, wow, there's been some really big name stores that have gone under this year. I think of the most recent one, Bobco up in Leeds, been there a few times in the past, because it had a really good pole alley, give you a good opportunity to sort of try before you buy, and it was a real big tackle store, you know, and it had been there many years. I think that was a shock to everyone. Numerous sort of independent tackle shops seem to be going under. So I actually had a chat with the lads about what do they think's going on, you know, from my local shop, and they said, you know, it's hard to understand really, because, you know, some of these big stores, they're selling products, you know, close to trade, if not less than trade prices, and, you know, how are they making a living? They might be pulling a wage, but how are they reinvesting back into their business? You see, for, you know, as the old saying goes, make hay while the sun shines. And it's funny, because I think back to one of those earlier podcasts, and it was during lockdown, and, you know, license sales were through the roof, the tackle trade was buoyant. You know, people were queuing out the door to pick up bait and get out, and people were coming back into fishing that had maybe left the sport. And now what, sort of 2, 3, 4 years down the line, you've got tackle shops going under left, right and centre, so something's not gone right. And anyway, so I was thinking about that, and then I thought a little bit further, I thought, well, money's tight, you know, cost of living, all the rest of it, so could it be that? And you think about it, I thought, when I was a youngster, didn't have much money, a bit of paper round money, if you like, and, you know, when I started work, it was 60 quid a week, and you couldn't really afford decent gear or whatever. So what did I used to do? And I used to go to the market. So up near me, Manchester, it was Greymare Lane Market. I remember 6 weeks school holidays, used to walk across there every week through a place called Newton Heath, over the railway track, then down. It's just by where Man City's ground is now. I don't know if the market still goes, but anyway, but back then, you know, I'm going back sort of 30 years ago, there was a really decent little tackle shop on there. I used to get image floats. Remember them, Mark Pollard's old brand back in the day, and sort of what were they called? There was some hooks that were sort of well-known, Japanese hooks, and loads of bits and bobs, Camazan line, stuff like that. And it was always cheaper than my local shop. I'd always obviously get all my bait and those bigger items from my local shop. Gilder's was my local shop back in the day. Fantastic bait, best casters around, brilliant. So let's try and think of that in the modern day. What would people do to try and save a few quid and scrimp and scrape? And I'm sure the lads in the tackle shop won't thank me for this video, but I think it's important. I think they get where I'm coming from. So I scanned around. I was watching a few YouTube videos the other day, and there was a guy on there, carp angler, and he was doing this Temu test. Now, anyone that doesn't know, Temu is one of these many sort of Chinese websites, shall we say, or apps, where they're offering anything from sort of trainers and clobber through to, you know, golf clubs and fishing gear and all sorts. And I looked at it, I had a little laugh, and he had a fish with this stuff, and it was muck. You know, a 7-piece carp, 3-pound test curve carp rod, and this box of tackle that looked like you wouldn't catch a shark on it. And I've always been critical of supermarket chains and places like that some of the stuff, when, you know, Aldi as an example, when they have their fishing week, you know, the stuff, their crane tackle, you know, the clothing might be okay, and some of the bait boxes and things like that, but when it comes to terminal gear and actually rods, reels, lines, stuff like that, it's enough to put anglers off. You know, you're not going to catch with that thick line, and not fit for purpose. Whoever the buyer is of that gear, you know, obviously isn't an angler. So I've always been critical of that, and I have that sort of perception of Temu. So I thought, well, if way back in the day I used to get my gear from the local market, maybe the more tech savvy kids nowadays, and like this guy who was on YouTube, the carp angler, maybe they try and scan around on these Chinese sites and get some cheap imports. So I thought, I'll have a little look. Is there anything from a match fishing perspective that could be useful for myself? I don't expect much. You know, I wasn't going to spend a load of money as well. You know, I was going to set myself a budget of like 50 quid, see what I could get, and see if anything's useful and if it's anything's fit for purpose. So I've done that, and the first parcel has arrived today, and there's your first negative, your waiting time. I think probably that order went in over a week ago, and the first one's arrived. So I don't know how many packages they're planning to send, but first one's got here. And also, as I was thinking about this, and I was scanning through the site, and like I say, there's a lot of crap on there, stuff, especially hooks, line, all that stuff. I wouldn't trust any of it. But then I started seeing some items that you see absolutely in your tackle shop, branded by big name companies. And you just think to yourself, look, they're pulling the wool over our eyes, some of these tackle companies. And it was one of the big ones. I won't say its name, but it's been recently bought out or retaken over, shall we say. And lots of social media posts about the 100 products being launched between now and spring next year. And you think to yourself, hold on. You've only had this company, these new owners have only had this company several months. There's no way you have put together a team of consultants and tried and tested and designed new products from the ground up, and then, you know, got it all sort of signed off, patented, and then, you know, orders sent to China or wherever these things get manufactured. It's not possible. And when you look on others, another site actually, but it's a wholesaler site, again, China, Far East, it's called Alibaba. And you go on there, and these are bulk items. And so having a look across Temu and across this Alibaba website, you'll see lots and lots of products that are branded as your big tackle company brands. They've not designed it. They've been to a trade show, or they've been to a wholesaler's show. They've been pitched these products, and then they've just been rebranded. We all know this, right? You know, you buy a keep net and it's got matrix around the top, or frenzy or whatever. You know, it's all made in the same factory or the same area, and it's just had the branding added on. Nobody designs a keep net. It's that they are what they are. There might be some tweaks to the features, which perhaps the consultants or the team at these companies have put their input in. And you know, I'm happy to be shot down here. I'm sure companies I know like Guru and people like that, you know, Godfrey and the lads there are constantly doing tackle development. But these sort of items I'm talking about, off the shelf, rebranded, made in bulk. So I started seeing some of these online. Now let's have a little look at the first parcel that's arrived today. What could be useful? I don't actually need that much stuff, but I saw this and I thought, actually, in my carry-all, some of these items are getting tatty. And it's the EVA cases. So to organise my carry-all, like a lot of anglers, you'll have little cases, maybe one for your catapults, one for your sort of pole pots and spare bits and pieces, maybe one for your glugs and your sort of your liquids and things like that. So I thought I could do with some new EVA cases. Saw them on Temu, pop them into the basket. And now the second one, I mentioned this actually. I was thinking about this the other day. It was on one of the podcasts a couple of years ago, and I said about climate change, and I said about, I think what you will see coming over the coming weeks, and I actually thought it'd be the following summer, but it took a little while longer, is around UV clothing. The reason why is many moons ago, 12 years ago in fact, I had the great opportunity to go fishing in the Florida Keys, and a lot of the anglers that go out on the boats there, and you're at sea all day, strong UV light, they wear these sort of highly breathable, quick drying shirts that are SPF UV protection. Now of course I saw one or two designs. I think it was Browning, another tackle company that's sort of gone by the wayside as their owners decided to not continue in the UK. Browning had a UV shirt available in Germany, I think. Then the Matrix one came to market. Now Preston Innovations do one. You've got the Guru ones as well, and I'm sure other companies are following down the line. So I ordered one of them as well, just to see what the quality is like. Do they fit? That's always one of these things when you buy clothing from the Far East. They tend to be made for people a wee bit smaller than us Brits. So anyway, without further ado, let's have a little look. The first package has arrived. So I did open it a little bit to check that it was the right products. So this should be the EVA set, which is there, and the UV shirt. So let's have a little look at the UV shirt first. Not that it's weather to come in. Now I'll tell you the prices. I'll pop the prices on the screen actually, because off the top of my head I can't remember. This is an invoice in here. Let's have a look. No, there's not even an invoice. So I'll put the prices on the screen. So first of all, let's have a little look at this UV shirt. It was a bit of a funky design with like sea fish on, if you like. Now what does it say first of all? It's a light grey. I think I got a large, a UK large. No order size. Or my advice, if you're ordering stuff you're not sure of, I always get the next size up. And what I liked about it when I saw it, does it look anything like it does on the website? It does actually. I liked it because it's got this sort of integrated hood, and yeah, you can have your cap on and whatnot in summer, but sometimes the back of your neck's getting caught and whatever, so you could put the hood up. And there's also like a buff by the look of it. A buff is the sort of thing that you would have around your neck as well. Again, remember them from Florida as well. So yeah, it looks like a big game fishing type shirt with the sort of, yeah, there's like trevally and tarpon and grouper and all that. It says Kufin gear. I'll try that on in a minute and see if it actually fits. Does it say anything about the actual UV protection? Again, negatives of buying from these sort of places would be, does it say does it do what it says on the tin? So it's in English. It's a large, made in China, do not dry clean, iron on a low heat, do not tumble dry, maximum 30 degrees cycle, no chlorine bleaching. So nothing about UV protection, which is a little bit worrying. But similar style, similar sort of materials. I've got a Guru one and I've got the Matrix one as well, so we'll try that on in a minute. It wouldn't be coming out till next summer anyway. Now, the EVA cases, this I am interested in. I want to say that off the top of my head, I will put it on the screen, but I think that was £8 was the UV shirt. And I think these, for a set of 3, was very cheap compared to the big tackle brands. Right, straight away I'm impressed. It feels robust. Ideally you want 2 zips. Yes, it has. So this is, who is this? Samola. Produced by whatever, no idea, since 1991. So they all come in one set by the look of it. Yeah. So there's the bigger one. Looking at this, it's definitely waterproof by the look of it. And what I like is what I was hoping for, because I couldn't tell, 2 zips. If one gets stuck, you've got the other one to open up. And when you're getting bits of ground bait and crap and stuff like that, then the zips can soon wear out, but feels good. That's the bigger one. And then like a little Russian doll, they're all packed inside each other. So we've got a medium one, 2 zips again. And then this smaller one here. They're actually bigger than I first thought. Nothing wrong with these. So as I said before, this is the sort of stuff that clearly, you could get rid of that there, the icon, stick a Maver logo on, you'd know no different, would you? Green Army and all that stuff. So first parcel from Temu, I can't argue with that. Right, I've just checked my phone there now to what I paid. So for the 3 set of EVA cases, which I have to say I'm impressed with, £15. Now, I don't think you can get one that size for 15 quid. So that, I can't argue with that, I'm surprised. And the UV shirt was £6. So we'll see whether that is UV protected or not. In fact, let's give that a little try on now and see what it looks like. Right, here's my sport fishing shirt. Check that out. So it is a large and it just fits about right. Now I'm medium, so definitely the right thing choosing the next size up. Feels okay, feels nice and comfy, feels like it's definitely quick drying. Bit of a funky setup. Like I said, this is the buff, so it's definitely designed for big game sport fishing. If you're out on a boat at the sea, in the tropics or whatever, you want to protect your face from the wind coming onto you and the sun beating on your neck. You put up your buff and you're fishing away. And if you're follically challenged like me, there's also the hood as well. Perhaps not something I would wear for fishing a match at Westwood Lakes, but for £6 it was worth the gamble. And it's not to say I won't go and do a bit of big game fishing another time. Perhaps if I ever get out to Florida again, or go back to where I used to live in the Canaries and go out on a boat. And this is certainly something I put on. And the good thing with these, when you're getting sprayed off the boat, they dry quick in the sun, and that's what it's all about. Again, I would question whether there's UV protection, so definitely put a bit of cream on underneath. But yeah, what have I paid there? 21 quid for these 2 items. So let's see what's coming on the second parcel. Right, I think I'm on day 8, 9, maybe even 10. I don't know, I've lost track now of waiting for these Temu packages. We've had 1, still another 2 to come, I think. See what it's all about, see whether any of the stuff's useful or not. But whilst I've been waiting and having a little think since I filmed the unboxing, if you like, of that previous stuff, so I'm going to think, what else has impacted? It can't just be these Chinese imports. We can talk about the elephant in the room, actually. What's affecting our local shops? So the elephant in the room being Angling Direct. You go online and you see some of the stuff people post, I'll never use them, and they're taking over and they're doing this, the staff are useless. And well, let's have it right, they can't be that useless, because they're still opening stores, they're still achieving reasonable sales results. You can take a look online and Google at their performance. They are a limited company, and obviously they serve a purpose. They've got quite a good sort of membership, the AD program, which offers discounts and things like that. So I don't want to get into that too much, because that's like comparing your corner shop with Tesco's or Aldi or whatever. We know they've got buying power. We know they've sprawled up all over the place, and it is what it is. I'm talking about, you know, I mentioned before about Gilders and those local shops that I used to use as a kid, and now my local fishing evolution. So what else is there that's impacting everything? If we're saying that are anglers falling off a cliff, less and less anglers, I don't know. And then I thought, what about these fishery tackle shops? Because that's a relatively new phenomenon. Last 10 years or so, you think, especially commercials, you turn up, especially if they sell pellets, you've got to use fishery pellets. You know, you've got to go in the shop to buy your pellets. So why would they not offer terminal tackle, line hooks, maggots, ground baits, and they've sort of spread and spread. I can think of some huge ones down the road from me, Westwood Lakes, brilliant shops, got everything that you need. One thing though, they don't put the prices on, which is a little bit strange. Think of other great shops, Docklow Pools, Lindholme Lakes, Rookery Waters, Alex's shop there, Tackle and Baits, awesome shops. You know, why would you go to a local high street trying to find parking or whatever to support your local shop? Ideally you would, but if you know you're going to be going to a water that sells everything that you need, you're probably going to wait till the following day. So that's on all of us, to be fair. That's how it is. So surely that's got to have had an impact on these shops that we're talking about that are going under. I don't know, it's hard to fathom. But anyway, that's some of the things that have been going through my mind whilst I've been waiting for these packages. So we'll keep waiting and wait till they arrive and have a look at what's in there and if anything's fit for purpose. At last, I think we're on day 10. We've got another parcel, which I assume is from Temu, and it is. Well, what have we got this time? And is it any use? Of course, the proof of the pudding's in the eating, as they say. So until I use this stuff, it's hard to check whether it is any use. But ultimately, some of it's basic stuff. Right, so first thing what we've got here. Again, I'll put the price on the screen. Always handy to have your tackle boxer in your bag. Little simple pair of scissors for your line. So surely they can't go wrong. I think they were not expensive at all. Again, is there any invoice in here? No, I've not. So that's nice and easy. Scissors, can't go wrong with them, surely. What we got then? We have, I'm intrigued. Allegedly, a Daiwa tackle box. Whether it's genuine or not is questionable. It's a lot smaller than I thought. Okay, so you get a whole bunch of inserts that you can make and customize as you want, I suppose. So what have you got there? You've got sort of 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and then you've got these little inserts that you can just slot in for bits and pieces. So we can just pop them in. So it could be, it's not, well, it's not wide enough for any feeders or anything like that, but maybe swivels and connectors or something like that. Customize it. Again, I don't think this was expensive. Is it Daiwa? Just a plastic box with a Daiwa sticker on, isn't it? So could be useful, might not be. And now this, I thought, could be. Let's see check the quality of this. So what? Let's use my little new scissors to get into the packaging. These are a little hook length system. So a little plastic tub, and inside, that's quite handy. Open it out. Now, first negative, no pins. So you want a little pin to put on your, obviously hook the hook into the, this is like foam, hook into the foam, wrap your hook length around it, and then you'd have a little pin in the loop, and then, or you attach your next hook length to the loop, the hook, keep going round and round, add as many as you like, and then a little pin would hold them in. So there's no pin, so we'll have to find a solution for that, but 4 of them in a nice small little case. So for feeder fishing, you know, perhaps different line strengths, different hook sizes, different lengths. But I think for a couple of quid, it could be quite handy, but this closes okay. But I need to find some little drawing pins or something for that. So scissors, tackle box. What's this say? Not sure what this is. Got to be careful here. I don't cut into whatever's in the little bag. Ah! Now I spotted these and wondered. Method feeders. They look very similar to some of the bigger tackle companies. 20 grams. So they've got a rubber tail on the end, fine, pass the line through. And then there's that a little connector? What is that on the end? Obviously they're not interchangeable. Well, they are interchangeable. It's got a slot on the back. So you can change them around just like you could with some of the... So again, just an example that these big brands just buy them in bulk, stick their branding on. I'm not too sure how that piece works at the end, whether it comes off or not, or whether it's fixed. Now if it's fixed, that's no use whatsoever. I'll have to try and get that out. I don't really want to use my teeth to pull that out, but they look very much like the ones you can get at Angling Direct. So yeah, you can interchange them. Goes through the middle, which is fine. Rubber sleeve, fine. But I don't understand how we're connecting our hook length to that, whether that comes out or not. There's two of them, and you get a mould. That fits okay. I think that was £2 for them. 2 feeders and a mould. What are they in the tackle shops? £3. Oh, one's 20 gram, one's 30 gram. Just need to work out how we're connecting our line to that. I'll give them a go one day. And then finally, now I do know how much I paid for this. A reel. It was £8. I can't remember what size I ordered, but it is a Rublino spinning reel. Now all reels pretty much that we use for match fishing are classed as spinning reels, but it had a very similar look to a very popular brand, and I thought I'd give it a go. Okay, no spare spool, I didn't expect that anyway. I think I got a 2000 size. So black, red branding, yeah, 2000. Now let's see. Pretty basic, but I imagine very usable. Drag feels okay. I need to put some line on and say, what's it? Line it holds. Gear ratio 5.01, and it takes 200 meters of 0.18, or 180 meters of 0.20, or 120 meters of 0.25. I imagine more than usable, and I'll pop that on one of my little 9-foot ones that I use, little bomb rods. I'll definitely have a little go with that over winter. Bail arm's a bit stiff. Oh, right now then, let's see. It doesn't click over. There we go. Anti-reverse works, but if I was to pull that over and I cast out, and then I want to crack on, interesting. Bail arm doesn't click back over. That is useless. Direct from China. Can't send it back. £8 down the drain. Try again. Am I doing something wrong? Do I need to tighten that drag up? Does that make any difference? Nah. I won't be using that. So, Rublinos HJ2000. Waste of space. So let's wait for the next parcel. God knows when that'll arrive. But I think looking at the other bits and pieces, method feeders look okay. Just need some drawing pins for the hook length system, scissors, should be fine, and a little tackle box. Simple, but a reel, do not risk it. Day 12, and I think at last we have our final Temu parcel. Let's get stuck in. Again, I can't remember what was on the order, so we'll have a little butcher's. Aha! Right. So, first of all, winter coming up. I ordered some gloves, like a little fingerless gloves. Allegedly Daiwa. Doesn't say anything on the packet that it is, so questionable. And it also says Gore-Tex. I don't think it's ever seen Gore-Tex, but let's have a little look. These could be handy. Yeah, they fit good. You see we've got 3 fingers spare. There's not like a little flappy bit that I've got on some other ones, but fingers are covered, and those main 2 fingers that you would use for changing bait, hooking, etc., they're free. Pretty decent, to be fair. Decent grip. Could be really useful this winter. I'll put the price of them on the screen. Now the next one. This was useful because I go through it, I lose a lot of these. These are rod bands. And what I noticed when I ordered them, I thought was quite useful. I've not seen these before or anything from the big tackle companies. So little bands that go around, obviously, and they sort of strap over. But there's a little slot in the middle for the eyes on your rod. So you don't have to put them on the blank. You can actually put the rod eye through there and then sort of attach it round if you like. And it's a little band just there. And there's one, oh, crikey, how many did you get? 1, 2, 10. Pack of 10. Price on the screen now. Useful. So like one side is the Velcro bit and the other side is rubberized. So set of gloves, some rod bands. So we've got in here. A cap. Yes, again. Allegedly Daiwa. Like a trucker style, some mesh at the back. And be careful with them in summer that you don't burn the back of your head. Adjustable, just a standard cap. I remember this was quite cheap as well. I've only got a pin head, so it should fit. There we go. Nothing wrong with that. What else have we got in here? Now then, yes, the last thing. This was one thing that I thought would be useful. And it comes in a little carry handle. This is probably the most match type thing I've seen. The pole roost. And I'll do a close-up of this in the garden or something, or in the kitchen. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see how this works. Extendable legs, allegedly. So what do? We unscrew it, and then it screws up tight. So we loosen it off. Because at the minute I use just like a little roost head onto a tripod bank stick. I thought if this is small enough, pretty easy to set up. Now I know the price of this, it was £11 something or other, and it's got, if I just flick that over, it extends reasonably long as well. So I'll have a little picture of that. I don't know how well made it is, how long it will last. Will it rust? but I thought for £11 that's going to be worth a go, and it will save me with the roost thing that I use. So there we go, a couple of things: pair of gloves, some rod bands, cap, and a little pole roost. Thinking more in depth as I've been waiting for these parcels, like I did between the second one arriving. All this stuff, I've had a good look on this Temu website now, and to be fair, that's not going to impact your local shop, the industry, the title of this video. There's not enough items on there that are useful. You can't get rods. Well, you can, but they're all little telescopic things, or 7 or 8 piece rods, just not fit for purpose for our style of fishing in the UK. You can't buy a pole. There's a couple of whips on there and stuff like that, but don't look great. Seat boxes, there's various luggage, but even the sizes are a bit random of the luggage. There's just not enough stuff to go on there, and that would, you know, eat away into what you would buy from UK stores. So it's definitely not a huge factor, I'm sure. It's just like when I was a kid, when I'd nip down to the market and buy a few floats and hooks and bits and pieces that might have been slightly cheaper out of my pocket money. The time that this stuff has took to come, the reel that didn't work, you know, if we mark this stuff out of 10, it would be a sort of a flat 6. So there's lots of question marks around these items, and of course, as I said previously, proof of the pudding is in the eating. You might start using these bits and pieces, and they break within 1 or 2 sessions. So that's not a big factor in what's going on the high street, if you like. But I think what we'll do is, I think we should nip down to our local shop and see what that's all about, and the benefits of why you should use, you know, your local tackle shop. That old saying, use it or lose it, if you like. Yeah, there's some bits and pieces where we can save a couple of quid, and you wait a couple of weeks online. But in general, it's not going to eat into what you're purchasing on a regular basis. I couldn't get any decent hooks. There's no decent line on there. There's no decent floats. Weights look as if they are lead, which is banned over here as well. So bit of fun, you know, spent 50 quid if you like, but nah, overall not great gear. Just some useful little items that were cheap as chips, I suppose. Saturday morning, typically on a Saturday it's the usual shopping, and always a trip when I can to the tackle shop. Get some bait for the Sunday. Monkey in tow. There you go. And here we are. So this is my local shop. See if you can see, Fishing Evolution. Huge unit. Shush, Hazel. A huge unit. Used to just be 1/2, and then they extended. So we're gonna have a little wander around. And I think the big thing about using the local store is, here's great location. It's absolutely king. It's no good being on some high street where you can't park and it's packed. We're on an industrial estate just on the edge of town, but it's that community feel. You know, I walk in, there'll be a couple of the lads working on a Saturday, 2 brothers, Mark and Kev, that own the place. They do a Saturday shift. Always open for a chat, tell you what's going on in the local venues, any sort of rumours, any sort of catches that have gone under the radar. You know, you just don't get that in those sort of big chain superstores where you don't really build that rapport, that relationship. Normally when I come in here, little one always ends up with some sort of little lure of some sort, so we'll see what she collars me for today. Let's have a little look inside. Take 2. Somebody said she wanted to introduce herself and I did it all wrong, so it's all yours. Come on.
Okay. Don't watch. Hello, my name's Hazel. This is where I go and I buy always these.
What is it?
Fish.
A fish. Yeah, there we go.
Plastic fish.
Should we have a look inside then?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. The good thing about this shop as well is structure. We know when you walk in,
I'll show you around.
you're going to show us around here. When I walk in, the carp stuff is in your first aisle. We know each aisle has a purpose. So down here we've got all the dynamite stuff, all the big baits. Look at them, 22mm pellets. Never going to use one of them. Some shops, independent shops, are a mess. You know, they're a jumble sale, no pricing, no structure. Here, the lads have absolutely got it on point. So what we've got down here, we've got all the, again, sticking with the carp theme, the Corda luggage there, look, all the branding, all the racking. What are you showing us?
All around.
Go on then, keep going. So this is all the carp stuff. We've got fox gear there, fox gear down there, for them for spons. Corda tackle, what have you got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots of racking for Corda gear. Go on then, that way, what's down there?
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get that far. It depends out.
Right, still carp gear. Nash, 40, Gardner, Solar. None of this is the stuff that I buy, but for those interested, Quorum, so that all-round specialist brand, part of Preston Innovations. Loads of stuff I buy here, especially these big feeders for like the rivers and that. I haven't been barbel fishing this year, which is a shame, but normally on here where I get my stuff. Hello. There's tripods, look. What have we got here? Poles. So there's not like a pole alley as such in here, but the lads, I'm sure, will allow you to sit on a box and have a waggle if anybody's interested in getting a pole. Now we come on to like the Predator stuff. So we've got some Savage gear, Strike King, got some Rapala stuff here as well.
Tell them something.
Go on, what do you want to say?
This is why you'll buy.
Yeah, this is where you buy your little fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
A 70p budget every single week. Not today.
No.
And then we get on to, we start now with the match gear. So you've got the Guru luggage on here. And then we start going into the terminal tackle. So it's all very well structured. Yeah, what you after? Do you know what that is?
No.
No, it's a baiting needle, isn't it?
Baiting needle.
That's it. Feeders, bits and pieces.
Here.
Come on, let's go back down this way. So, oh, there's some new fish stuff there as well. Is that new? Maybe. They've got some, I don't know, they've got some new fish stuff. Yeah, no more fish. Down this end, seats and seat boxes, nets, landing net handles, loads of landing net choice. Again, structure. It's not a jumble sale, it's not a mishmash. Everything's nice and clean. You haven't got stuff packed on top of each other and you can't find anything like some shops. So the lads have got it nailed here. Some Frenzy gear there on offer. Frenzy luggage. Yeah, I noticed that on the website. Some map items, all the seats. You like sitting on these, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Don't get shouted at. Over there, hard cases, holdalls, dial luggage, Drennan luggage. I've just started last year, well earlier on this year, with some Daiwa stuff, which is great. And then we start getting into baits, so ground baits, pellets, wafters, caps along the top there as well. Matrix, it's all clearly marked out. You're not getting lost. I know where everything is. It's not a mess. Around here, clothing, big clothing rack. Floats, Drennan, hooks, hello. And then down here, your baits are stuck into brands as well. So Dynamite, Fuca at the end. I've just got some of the old school stuff in, just for the natural anglers as well. If I do get on the river this year, there's some bits to get. Preston stuff down there. You want to go upstairs and see the beds? Preston stuff down there.
I'll
go on
show
then.
you upstairs. Can I have the camera?
Yeah, go on then. What's happening, Kev? Not bad. Last week went alright, didn't it? Brilliant. I was hanging out my backside.
Here, I'll show you around in this tent.
So, tell the camera then, what have we got upstairs? What are these called?
Bivvies.
Bivvies and chairs.
Yeah, and we have some rods over here.
Lift the camera up so we can see it then.
And rods over here, some there and some here.
Yeah, you've got too fast, hold on. So there's a bit of structure to this. So this should be the barbel stuff, I think. Yeah, barbel rods along here. Yeah, all the Guru, the engaged specimen. feeder rods, match rods, mixture. So all the new Engage Pro, A-class, I've got a few of them, be careful with that, you. And on this side is your carp gear, so carp rods galore, cradles, just again structure, not a mess, nice and tidy. If they ain't got anything in that you don't want, they'll order it. You can take a look how much square footage we're dealing with here. Good branding on the walls there. Come on, let's have a look at these bivvies, because I know you like these.
Yeah, and we've got
Chairs,
a chair here.
tracker chair, is that comfy?
Yeah,
Called a lunar chair, and that one's a noon chair.
and I say to me,
That one looks cosy.
yeah.
All these seats in here as well, look.
I'll show them in here. This one's nice, so I'll try that chair.
Which one? Yeah, go on then, the moon chair.
This one.
Yeah, you like that, don't you? Well, they're no good for me when I'm fishing a match. So there we go. A little whistle stop tour, Fishing Evolution, my local shop. Again, because it's important. You know, if I didn't have this on my doorstep, I'd be travelling, God knows, probably at least an hour there and back over towards Grantham, up to Lincoln, maybe even across to Newark. So I think the key is structure, location, community spirit. Last week they did a charity day here, raised a really good amount for a local hospice, and you know, the big tackle companies supported it really well, giving prizes and whatnot. They had a barbecue, and so every anniversary, every year they do something for the community and for the customers. One final thing they do here as well, discount. So you get a discount card. The more you spend, the more discount that you get as well. So loyalty reward card, which is important.
Can I tell them something?
Go on, last thing before we turn it off.
Okay, here we go back downstairs.
Yeah, that's where we go back downstairs. Let's do it actually. Go on, let's go downstairs again and we'll show the Preston Innovation stuff.
What about clothes?
Yeah, exactly. Go on then. To me, to you. Well, we didn't do this bit because there's somebody stood around here, so go on. Oh, careful. So, from the Drennan stuff into Preston, look at all this clothing as well. Guru stuff, Frenzy winter suits, t-shirts, shorts. This is all your match side. Loads of Preston stuff.
I'll show you down here.
All boots, rollers, all the new EVA stuff just there, and then all your carp clothing.
I'll show you all of the fish.
Okay, what are they used for?
Bait.
Bait for pike, that's it. So there you go, you've got all your, coming into predator season now, so you've got all your predator baits. This is always fully stocked every winter, loads of gear for pike anglers. Hey?
Them fish are red.
They are, yeah, they died. So there we go folks, whistle stop tour, important. Well, there we have it team, it's been a long old day, doing the shopping, getting the bait, looking after the little one, sorting my gear out for tomorrow. A little club match tomorrow, very tired, bedtime. But back to the purpose of the video, it was all about bringing back to life that tackle shed piece of the podcast, and trying to understand really why we're seeing a plethora of independent tackle shops go to the wall. So we look at these cheap Chinese imports, we conclude that some of it's useful, but to be fair, there's none of it really matches what we use day to day. A lot of it's just like the rubbish you can get in supermarkets. We then think about fishery tackle shops. That has to have an impact. If you go in somewhere where you know you've got to buy their pellets, you probably think to yourself, well, you know, they do hooks, they do line, they do elastic, they do maggots, so I might as well wait till I get there. I think that has an impact on our local stores. And then we had a little look, didn't we, about rod license sales, down 30,000 compared to the year before last. So that's got to be an impact. So it's about £1 million a year less that the EA have got to spend on behalf of anglers. So less anglers, more fishery shops, a few cheap and cheerful imports perhaps. Add it all together, it's a bit of a tough cost of living crisis, as they say. Add it all together, and there's challenges. But I think by showing you my local shop, you have a shop in a good location, good catchment area. I mean, for me, you've got the Trent 25 minutes away, the Withams 10 minutes away. There are numerous commercial fisheries within sort of 10-15 minute drives. The Fens only sort of 40 minutes away or so. Lots of lakes and waters just over the border in Nottinghamshire. So there's lots of venues on. You've got a good catchment area. So if you have a good located shop with good structure inside, good price points, clearly marked with what discount you're entitled to, depending on your loyalty. So how the lads work at my local shop, I think, is that might well be the key ingredient for longevity. But without question, I'm sure it's a tough market out there, and you've got to, as I said earlier, make hay whilst the sun shines, and otherwise we're going to lose these local stores, and that's the last thing that we all want. Support them, community feel, community spirit. So cheers for watching, and if you haven't already, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and hopefully we can carry on with some tackle shed pieces alongside the odd on the bank feature as well. Cheers.